Welcome to another episode of Brooklyn. Where have you gone? This is one I like to call the neighborhood deli. Now, as kids, we were extremely lucky. Every neighborhood had a deli, and you could get a great hot dog, knish, corned beef sandwich anytime you wanted. These days, those delis are few and far between, but that's a story for later in this video. So, I grew up in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, and we were lucky enough to have 4 neighborhood delis. Those were Zymar, Hebrew National, Irving's, and Lulu's, and that's going from east to west on Brighton Beach Avenue. Zymar was near the Oceana movie theater. So whenever we went to the movies, we'd stop at Zymar. We were there. Now, Zymar was famous for their turkey tushes. What's a turkey tush, you ask? Well, that's the same thing that my wife asked when we met and first started dating. We were on our way to the movies, and I said, "Would you like a turkey tush?" And she said, "Are you nuts? What's a turkey tush?" So I said, "Let's go." We went to Zymar, sat down, I got her a turkey tush, and she was a fan for the rest of her life. We would go there very often and get turkey tushes before we went to the Oceana to see a movie. Now, the Hebrew National Deli, for lack of a better name, I know it had one, I just don't remember what it is. It was many, many years ago. That was where we went when we went to PS 253, and they let us to go out to have lunch, which they did. They let us go out to leave for lunch. So we would go to Brighton Beach Avenue, and when we wanted a hot dog, we'd go to the deli over there because it was close and we were able to get back in time. Irving's was a few blocks over, and I would go there as often as I went to the others. Lulu's was another great deli, and that was at the end of Brighton Beach by Ocean Parkway. Now, I have a great story about Lulu's. It's another story about when I met my wife, and her father introduced me to a sour tomato. I said, "A sour tomato?" He said, "Try it. You'll like it." I liked it. So whenever I'd pick her up from school, we'd walk down the street, down Ocean Parkway, towards Ocean Parkway, and make the left onto Brighton Beach Avenue. We'd stop at Lulu's. I'd get a sour tomato. Well, that particular afternoon was the day that President Ronald Reagan was shot. And that's how I remember where I was that day. I was eating a sour tomato that came from Lulu's. And each one of these delis had its champions, the kids in the neighborhood that swore by only one. And as kids were willing to do and very quick to do, we would argue over which one was best. Was a decision ever reached? No. We had a great time arguing over which one was best, but the truth was we went to all of them. We went and had something at every single one of those delis because the truth was it's whichever one was the most convenient. We didn't know how good we had it at the time. It was so easy to do what we needed to do and get what we wanted to get. Now, the nearest good deli to me, I'll drive 40 minutes to go get a good hot dog or a corned beef sandwich, or I'll drive into New Jersey or wherever I need to go, and it's just not as convenient. But when you get the urge to have something, you have to have it. Now, I was going to look up prices and tell you what the stuff costs now, but I didn't want to depress anyone. When we were kids, I saw a menu that actually came from Zymar's, and a corned beef sandwich extra lean was $1.50. I'll leave the pricing at that. It was just an interesting time, and it wasn't only just the delis. I mean, Brighton also had a very famous place called Mrs. Stahl's Knishes, and anyone that ever went to Brighton, even if you didn't live there, it was on the corner of Coney Island Avenue and Brighton Beach Avenue, just under the L, and it had amazing knishes. That also went the way of the dodo bird. It's no longer around. These are places that I went to. I'm sure if you take the time to remember, you all had your favorite delis. So please, if you like this content, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And in the comments, let me know which deli you went to in your neighborhood and what stood out to you. And tell me how long you'd have to drive to get to a deli right now that you like. Or do you do it? Is it worth it to you? These are things, burning questions we all want to know the answer to. And let's look forward to a new episode of Brooklyn, Where Have You Gone?